Breathing techniques that transform health. Now, this is one of the easiest things you can do to make a huge difference in your health. And I want to encourage you to use the breathing techniques. Now, I'm going to summarize them in this video as we wrap up this series. But this is your brain before doing breath work. This is after. That is amazing that you can change your brain and your nervous system that fast and improve your health. So let's review the things that I want you to do with your breathing. Number one, most importantly, don't overbreathe. And we tend to overbreathe in America. We tend to breathe too frequently. We need to slow it down and breathe more shallow. Now, when you're doing some of these breath techniques, it's okay to breathe deeper. But slow it down and breathe more shallow in general is a good thing to start with. The next thing I want you to do is make sure you're breathing through your nose. When you breathe through your nose, it purifies the air, warms the air, moistens it, pressurizes it, and it increases nitric oxide. Breathing through your nose increases oxygen absorption by 10 to 15%. So it's a huge factor. And you may not be familiar with nitric oxide, but when you breathe through your nose, you increase this important molecule, which increases circulation throughout the body and allows all of your systems in your body to work at peak efficiency. Breathing through your nose increases nitric oxide 6 times more than when you breathe through your mouth. But you say, listen, I'm too congested to breathe through my nose. I've got a little exercise I'm going to show you that will help unblock your nose. And here's what it is. You simply exhale through your nose and then pinch your nose. And you're going to hold it pinched with no air in your lungs as long as you can. Now, it helps to nod your head to kind of distract yourself. We want to go as long as you can. And when you really have to take a breath, let go of your nose and inhale through your nose. Now, what you're going to find after doing that one time, your nose opens up. After you do it 2 or 3 times, you really open up your nostrils. The next thing I want you to focus on when you're doing breathing techniques is using your diaphragm. Most people use only 10% of their diaphragm, so it gets very weak. And that makes your heart have to work harder. It increases your blood pressure and it can cause circulatory problems. But there's an easy technique to strengthen your diaphragm, and I'm going to show you what that is. All you do, take a breath in and then exhale, and as you exhale, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as long as you can. Now, when you can't say the words 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out loud, then whisper them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. And when you can't whisper them anymore, then you just mouth the words until you cannot do it anymore, and then take a deep breath in. That's a great exercise for strengthening your diaphragm. One of my absolute favorite breathing techniques is the 5.5 second breathing technique. And this technique is used in mantras, chants, and prayers around the world. Lots of different cultures use this. And it's simply inhaling through your nose to a count of 5.5, and then exhaling through your mouth to a count of 5.5. And this is something I've incorporated into my morning routine. And I just do it 5 minutes. But in 5 minutes, you can do tremendous things to your nervous system, which I'll show you in just a minute. Now, some of these groups that use this breathing technique actually talk or chant or hum when they exhale. And there is some science behind that. Humming greatly increases nitric oxide. And we want to do everything we can to boost nitric oxide. 15 times more nitric oxide when you do this humming as you exhale. Another breathing technique is the 4-7-8 breathing technique, and we teach this in the 7 Systems Plan as in one of our modules. But Andrew Weil is a medical doctor who has perfected, and actually I believe was the originator of this technique. So I'm going to show you him doing the technique.
The famous 4-7-8 breath, the relaxing breath that I teach to all patients and doctors and students and friends, another yoga breathing technique. In this, you try to keep your tongue in the yogic position, touching the tip of the tongue to the ridge of tissue just behind your upper front teeth, like that, and try to keep it there the whole time. You breathe in quietly through your nose to a count of 4, and you hold your breath for a count of 7, and then blow air out forcefully through your mouth. Helps if you purse your lips out and you make a whoosh sound when you do that. So the exercise begins by letting all the air out through your mouth. Then you close your mouth, breathe in silently to a count of 4, hold your breath for a count of 7, out through your mouth audibly to a count of 8, and you will repeat this for 4 breath cycles. Looks like this. That's it. You must do this at least twice a day. You can do it more frequently if you want, but never more than 4 breath cycles at one time, at least for the first month. After a month, if you're comfortable with it, you can increase to 8 breath cycles, and that's the absolute maximum. It's desirable to slow the whole exercise down as you practice it. What limits you is how long you can comfortably hold your breath, but as you practice that, you'll get better and better at it. And after doing this for 4 or 6 weeks, you can begin trying to use it for things. If somebody says something that pushes your button, you do this exercise before you react. It's a great way to deal with cravings. It's a great way to help you fall asleep. If you get up in the middle of the night for any reason, get back in bed, you do the exercise, you'll fall asleep easily. After 2 months, 3 months of regular practice, there are very significant changes that happen.
Lots of things happen when you do any kind of breath work, and that's a great one. I encourage you to try that. Another breathing technique I want to talk about is alternate nostril breathing, and this is especially helpful for balancing the nervous system. Now, they all do, but this one might be my favorite for that. Your nervous system has 2 parts, the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. Now, the sympathetic nervous system is the fight or flight response. Just think of a dog chasing you. Everything that happens to your body then is the sympathetic nervous system. On the opposite side, there's the parasympathetic nervous system, and everything that occurs there is just the opposite. Your heart rate goes down, blood pressure, respiration, everything goes into that relaxation state. And unfortunately, where are we stuck in America? Yeah, we're stuck over here. So if you want to balance that out, you can use alternate nostril breathing. Most people don't know, but your right nostril is connected with the sympathetic nervous system. Your left nostril is connected with the parasympathetic nervous system. And if you're not balanced breathing between those, you're not going to have good health. There's going to be consequences if you can't breathe through one of your nostrils. A simple technique to get your nervous system balanced is to inhale, and then you close your right nostril, exhale through your left for 5 seconds, inhale through your left for 5 seconds, and then you switch. Close your left nostril, exhale through your right, and then inhale through your right 5 seconds, and you just keep alternating like that. It's a simple technique. I'd encourage you to try it. And if you're doing this, what you'll notice is you feel different. You feel a little lightness. You feel a little calmness that occurs. One last technique that is taught by the Navy SEALs is box breathing. And box breathing is just simply a square. You inhale for 4 seconds, hold 4 seconds, exhale 4 seconds, hold 4 seconds. So there's a hole between inhaling and exhaling. Each of the squares has 4 seconds. And why do Navy SEALs use this, or when do they use it? They use it when they need to stay calm and focused and handle a stressful situation. So you can imagine them getting into combat and sitting in a bunker and just running this technique to calm down their nervous system. So here's the key takeaways. I want you to prioritize nasal breathing. Make sure you almost always breathe through your nose, even when you're exercising. Work on getting to the point where you can keep your mouth closed. Practice breathing less and slowing down your breathing, and incorporate at least one of these exercises into your wellness routine. Now, I'd like you to try all of them and see which one works best for you. Consistent breathing will help transform your health. This is a huge part, and that's why we have it incorporated in the 7 Systems Plan. And if you want a lot more tips like this, I encourage you to go to 7systemsplan.com and check out our online course.